Turning to the race for City Council in Ward 4, Christopher Geisler came out on top with about 55.8% of the vote. Blake Miskowick, his challenger, with about 42.7% of the vote. This is an open seat because Councilmember Jenny Geisler did not seek re-election this year. And you happen to know Jenny fairly well, right?
I've known her for a long time. Yes, I have.
So Chris is the son of Jenny, and you are the winner of the Ward 4 seat. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
How did it feel? Like we waited a long time for results last night, so you actually didn't even stay up to see if you won, correct?
The die was cast, the votes were cast. Yeah. I figured I needed to go to work the next day, so yeah. I went to bed, ended up waking up at 5 and saw the results, and that was great for me. So.
Yeah, so Anoka County finally transmitted the results to the state just before 3 a.m., or they posted to the state's website around 2:48 a.m. We know that for a fact. So we knew just before 3 a.m. that you are the winner in Ward 4. How are you feeling coming off the campaigning and the election?
Really good. I'm excited to continue kind of my civic journey here. Yeah. I started in 2017 with the Transportation Advisory Board. I started in 2019 with the Planning Commission here in the city. I learned civics at the dinner table between not only from my mother, but even my great aunt who served on the Planning Commission for a long time too. Yeah. So being involved and engaged in Coon Rapids and how it's growing and doing things has been something I literally grew up with. So I'm excited to be able to take it to the next level.
All right. Tell us a little about yourself. You grew up here in Coon Rapids?
Yeah, I grew up here in Coon Rapids. I went to school at Coon Rapids High School as well. Graduated there. I was a marching band, did all that. Yeah. Went to Iowa State for a little while. Graduated there with a supply chain degree and an international business degree. Came back. I worked for a local manufacturing company in Minnesota here as my day job. But I spent a lot of time doing IT audit and audit related things, but also spent times traveling to our manufacturing plants around the country and globally. But yeah, that's kind of the stuff I get into, as well as just my hobby of civics and participation in what's going on around the 7-county region and the city here too.
Yeah, and you have a family?
Yeah, a family, happily married with 2 kids. I've got a 6-year-old and a 17-year-old. Okay. So I've kind of battened for the spread on that one. But no, they're both in Coon Rapids schools here, and they're having a great time. So,
what drove you to want to run for the city council? Obviously, you did run in 2020 for the open at-large council seat because Steve Wells did not run at the time. Obviously, Pat Carlson's in that seat, and he was the winner that year. What drove you to kind of want to be on the Coon Rapids City Council?
I mean, in 2020, I'm not one to enjoy a vacuum, so I wanted to run at large just to make sure that there was a good race of it. I'm very Pat's a great guy. He's done a lot of good stuff. Yeah. So I didn't feel like I lost. I felt like Pat won. Yeah. So that was in 2020. But I also felt that I learned a lot, and why not take another stab? And Jenny had decided that she was done. She had done enough. She was ready to step back, and I was like, well, I'm in Ward 4, so why not? Yeah. Why not continue what I'm doing? Why not run again?
Yeah. Obviously, part of the job, or part of what you have to do to get elected is campaign. What did you hear from folks as you went to the doors and were campaigning for this election season?
A lot of people just want stuff to work, especially at the city level. A lot of people don't want all the angst and the tension of what's going on. They want the roads to not be full of potholes. They want the water to show up. They want the sewer to work. They want the police to show up when they call them. They want the fire department there if they need them. These are the basics of it. And we got to do all that while also trying to keep it as affordable as possible. Yeah. That's the bulk of pretty much what most people think about day to day. And if they even know what the city council is covering on that one. And there's a lot of really policy wonky stuff. And that's where when I hear from people at Planning Commission about what they like, what they don't want, why are we having another car wash is always a perennial question. Yes. These are things that would come up that really we can actually talk about through policy and governance. And so that's what I want to do, is I want to bring that level of wonkiness of how do we make sure that our ordinances are effective? I mean, I heard a lot from food truck vendors about dealing with that in the city as well. As it's expensive, it's difficult, it's harder than other people. And so I kind of learned a little bit of that from those very small businesses who are trying to get a leg up.
Yep.
And those are the things that I heard as I was walking around and talking to people and just connecting with folks in casual conversation.
Yeah. Obviously, you've learned a lot about the city working on or being on the Planning Commission. You also talked about the Transportation Advisory Board. Is that what it is? You serve on, which is called TAB. Talk to us a little bit about what that is.
Yeah, so the Transportation Advisory Board, much like the Planning Commission, is a subcommission under the City Council. The Transportation Advisory Board is a subcommittee under the Metropolitan Council. Okay. So it's down in St. Paul. The difference, though, is that TAB is the administrator of the Metropolitan, the MPO, which is where all the federal funding comes in, and then they dole it out. So the competitive process that they do is the regional solicitation every 2 years. It's a big thing that Tim Himmer spends a lot of time on, and Mark Hansen and everybody working through it. But that's how we funded projects like the Hansen Overpass, like the Foley Overpass, as well as the pedestrian bridge, which is going up right now. All of those were funded through the regional solicitation. My time on TAB has been working the system and working the scoring tools to making sure that suburbs like Coon Rapids all around the 7-county region have an opportunity to earn those competitive dollars. Because when you're competing against Minneapolis and St. Paul and even Bloomington or really big, denser areas, they score better on certain things. And so my time there was where we created a category that was just spot mobility, which is for things like roundabout training or enhancing crossings in more suburban spaces. There's smaller dollar allotments, but which kind of make the really big projects not applicable. But it helps solve problems in suburban communities. So I've been working on that. I've been working to make sure things are fair as well, so that everybody gets a fair crack at getting those dollars in. Because those federal dollars will fill in up to 80% of a project's budget, or to a hard dollar cap, depending on how expensive they are. That's also how we're getting funding for the 610 interchange, is through that solicitation process. And that saves citizens money. And so that's really where I've been trying to work, is to make sure that cities like Coon Rapids, like Blaine, like Andover, and Ramsey and the Highway 10 project that was going all the way up through there, can get funding to do these that isn't just coming off of property taxes.
All right. Going forward, what do you see as the priorities or what you want to accomplish as a member of the City Council?
Probably my biggest thing is I want to continue to revamp our ordinances to the modern day and age. A lot has changed. Some of those have been sitting around for 20 or 30 years, or they may have had minor tweaks to keep them in line with Minnesota code. But there are definitely things, how we treated food trucks pre-COVID and post-COVID. The world has changed a lot in how they were. Before, they were kind of a minor spectacle. Now they're pretty staple in a lot of places, and they attract people to other established businesses. That's something that I want to look at. I want to also make sure that, other places, when I was on Planning Commission, we were revising an ordinance for driveways. We were making them really complex. I worked with staff to say, let's just keep it simple. What do we actually care about? We care about the curb cut, and we care about how much asphalt's on the front lawn. So let's just measure that and make it really simple for folks to understand. Because if they understand what we want them to do, and it's easy for them to do it, they're probably going to do it. And so I want to marry up that, making sure the city's easy to do business with. We still have to do the things we do as a city. We still have to control the things we control through licenses and all that. But it shouldn't be burdensome for folks to do that. And that's really what I want to drive through, is making it easy and making it attractive to come to the city with your business or with your home, or if you want to renovate something, and still have everything go the way we want it to.
All right. Was there anything in particular that you were hearing from people at the doors that they want the city to change or do better?
There's always the push-pull of, why is this road ripped up again? Why is this happening? What's there? And like I said before, it just has to work. And so I want to make sure the things that are working, I don't want to mess with. I want to keep those things working. Like the other council members had said in their interviews, there's a lot that the council works together really well and gets a lot done effectively. I don't want to change that. I want to make sure that keeps happening. But there's some spots where I think we have opportunities to do a little bit better that won't totally, shake the boat.
All right. Anything else you want to add? That's about all I have to talk to you about, or anything else you want to add about campaigning or this whole election cycle.
Well, certainly waiting till 3 was not ideal, but I think at the end of the day, I'm super grateful for the citizens of Coon Rapids. I'm super grateful for the opportunity to serve them for the next 4 years. I look forward to hearing from them more if there are specific concerns that people want to talk about or look into. I'm happy to be that servant and help there. Otherwise, I'm just looking forward to an opportunity to make things better.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming in today. I know it's the day after, but we did still want to hear from you and on this election week. And congratulations. We look forward to seeing what's ahead.
Thank you very much.